You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Thank you, Marshall. Marketing for others. You know what? Marketing is really, it's probably the most important business out there. And I don't say that lightly. Yeah, I know every business contributes, but it's the most important thing out there, and especially marketing for others. Right? You know, because a lot of times, well, it's important for two reasons, right? The first reason is that no matter what business you're in the marketing business. You know, like someone will look at me and they'll say, oh, yeah, Ron, you got a publishing business, you're a podcaster, you're a vlogger, all of that stuff, right? And they'll say, oh, yeah, that's your business. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm in the marketing business. I'm in a business of marketing all of that stuff. Or I was at a hair expo the other day, right? And you had plenty of people there. Some, I mean, you had vendors set up. You had some who were getting some attention, some who weren't. And the thing is, there were a lot of repeat products there. There's only so many things you could sell for hair. A lot of beard products. Those people weren't in the business of selling beard products or hair products or lotions and stuff. They were in the business of marketing, because you have to market your goods. So a lot of people have great ideas for products. A lot of people, think about just over the years, I've met many people who had a great product. They couldn't market it. And marketing just means you're in the business of letting people know that you have the product. That's the most important thing. So everybody's in it. Once you start in business, you're in the marketing business. You could have you could have a strip of land and grow tomatoes on that land. And, someone might say, well, you're in the business of growing tomatoes. I was going to say potatoes, that too. I actually grew potatoes one time. Yeah, interesting life. Now, someone will say, yeah, you're in a business of growing tomatoes. No, you're not. You're in the business of marketing that stuff. Because say you have an acre of tomato plants. Actually, you don't need that much. You can have just a half an acre. A little plot growing some tomatoes. It doesn't mean, and if you have the intention of selling them, it doesn't mean anything how much you grow. They will sit someplace unless you go out and market them. And it could be just as simple as setting up at a farmer's market or something like that. So we're all in the marketing business. Unfortunately, every person isn't good at marketing. Every person isn't, they're not proficient. They don't know how to get out there and talk to people and everything, right? And I talked about this when I knew a gentleman who was... He was real good. He could write the books, but he couldn't really promote them. No, it's very important. So you have to get out there, of course. But like I said, everybody doesn't have that talent. You have a lot of people. Like, I got some art. I got like 3 pieces of artwork from this artist, right? But the artist, his stuff would be sold at vending shows. And I would see him at a couple vending shows. I don't know what his voice sounds like. And quite frankly, he might not be able to speak. Might be mute for all I know. That's how much I don't know how much. But his wife markets the material. She's the one to get out there and talks and everything. So you have situations like that. So everybody's not built for it. But then you have some people specifically built for that. Right? You have some people specifically built for that. So, check it out. They get out there and market. Now, you could market for somebody. See, that's a good business. If you're that type of person who could talk to somebody, you can market for them. Like when I was at this event, I met a very, very attractive young lady. Very attractive, very beautiful. right? But just the way she was carrying herself and talking to people, she was working with a friend at her booth. And I was like, yeah, you have a model's aura. And she said she's done event hosting and stuff like that. And that's actually something, that's something I might look into, read into that. Like have host models or something like that. That's something I'm seriously thinking about looking into because they can market your stuff. I remember when I was at an event, a major event, a Congressional Black Caucus Legislative Weekend event, years ago when I paid attention to such things, and I was actually among a select group of men who were invited back to this suite, and you know these were like models marketing some stuff. Even though I was invited back to the suite for something else, but their main job was to market a product for someone. That's part of marketing. Now that would be something good if you're that type who can hype stuff. You can actually offer those services. Like some people, they'll offer a range of services. They'll do commercials. They'll have a street team out there. They'll pass out flyers for you and stuff like that. Now, one thing about that marketing for others, you need to show that you can produce results. That's the main thing. Because just passing out flyers and stuff like that, anybody can really do that. You have to be able to say, okay, I can get these people hyped about your product. And, you know, that could be several ways. You could have, get them involved in vending shows. You can, what else? There's so much. There's so much, you can do stuff on social media, especially social media. Like you actually have some people who, they're very good at hyping on social media. I mean, and those are skills because what good is it? Okay, I'm writing these books. And obviously, they're selling well. What good is it if I don't know how to hype it, if I can't market it? I remember years ago, this is before I even started publishing. It was like, I was still living in DC. And I was relatively young. I remember I was walking to a metro station. For those in D.C., the Fort Totten metro station, there was a little shortcut I could take as went through these woods. I remember I saw several boxes of somebody's books just out in the woods. They had just been dumped. And I was like, wow. And that's the thing in the publishing industry. You get a lot of people who publish books, and then they got these books sitting on, just sitting in a garage somewhere. They couldn't market them properly. That's an important thing to deal with. So that's something to think about. That's something to get into. That's something if you're a hype person, because there's a lot of people. You know what? When you talk about business, it's hard to find somebody who can do every single thing. It really is. It's really hard to find somebody who can create anything, and ultimately you do have to join forces with somebody. Some people have to. You get some people, they're just the idea people. Then you have some people, they can get it built. But then you have some people, you know what, they can get out there and hype your product. They are influential. Usually, like if I was to get into, like I said, I might look into that event hosting thing. I really might. Have somebody else run it though, because I stay so busy. But that would be something. I mean, shoot, that's why, YouTube influencers or social media influencers, that's marketing right there. If you get somebody and, they got a large following, especially on Instagram, and somebody will say, hey, can I market this to you? Or can you market this for me? It's like, boom. So anyway, right? That's it. That's good. Because I'm going to tell you what, in business, never think that you can't bring something to the table. Like I say, you could be that type of person. You're not a writer. You ain't going to do a song. And, you can't mix something together, make a good shampoo, but you can hype it. And really, I'm going to tell you what. When I just sit down and think about all the products out there, somebody could start off small. And I'm giving you a business idea because I'm like, shit, I might do this myself. you could start out like you get some of these small companies, you charge them a little bit because that's basically all they can afford, and your sole thing is hyping it. Ooh, I got another business idea. You know what thing with me? I need to set up a mechanism. Yeah, I really need to set up a mechanism where I can just give away some of these ideas, and I mean literally give them away. Cause it's not. Sometimes it ain't always about the money. Oh yeah, I could like set up a bunch of stuff just out of greed, but then, you get a lot of organization and stuff, and you got to set that up. Which I mean, if it comes down to it, I could do it. But I don't mind. I want everybody to eat. Cause the more every single other person eats, the more, when by eating I mean they're making money. That puts more money out there for people to buy my stuff. So, anyway, right? Something for people to think about. Anyway, let's go make that money.